Coral World Grand Prix trophy. These two, it's a meeting of determination and grit. That's their calling card, both players. This evening, something has got to give.
Thank you, the third frame. Neil Robertson to break.
My head tells me that Neil Robertson will win this match comfortably, but my heart is saying that the way this tournament is going, the top seeds and the best players losing, it could be Kyren Wilson that could come out on top tonight. But the way Neil has played all week, okay, his first round 4-3, but finished that match off in style, and then since then has been imperious.
He's wiping that cue vigorously. Clearly feels it's a little sticky. Robertson has spent the last 3 Saturdays playing in semi-finals of ranking events in Austria, Germany, and now here in Cheltenham. He arrived here with a frames won-lost record of 13-4. By comparison, Wilson's is 13-10. He's been a master of brinkmanship so far. But when it comes to deciders, you can't keep going to the well. Eventually, they will trip you up.
One. Four. Five.
Biggest crowd of the week in tonight. One table situation. Normally the kind of occasion in which Robertson thrives. Mind you, lately he's been thriving in every occasion.
No more open reds after this one, so angle on black required.
13.
And if he'd picked a cue ball up with his hand, he couldn't have put it in a better place. red that he wanted to.
20.
He wanted to stun into that red, but he was expecting more of an explosion of the bunch than he got. He only really brought 2 or 3 reds out, which is incredible considering how hard he hit it. Well, he's found one here.
Neil Robertson, 20.
And having missed the red, he's a little fortunate to have left the cue ball so close to the side cushion. That would not, of course, have been his intention.
You would think to win this match tonight, Kyren Wilson's got to score heavily. Okay, you can. There's other ways of winning frames. But I think over a best of 11, to compete with someone who's scoring as heavily as his opponent, I think he's going to have to do his fair share.
One. Five.
Well, that was a settler, the way he knocked that one in.
Six.
That was very nice. Great chance now.
Thank you. $30.
This is a kind of opportunity where I think Kyren Wilson just falls a little bit shorter than the likes of Robertson, Trump, O'Sullivan,
40.
Higgins, Ding Junhui, in terms of keeping that cue ball on a real tight leash, keeping control of it, having the cue ball do as little mileage as possible. So yeah, straight away, you can't play for the black now.
21.
It's just a poor shot. A huge margin for error to get high in this red. And he keeps, he keeps talking. He wants to get to the next level. He wants to be a regular winner, get high up the rankings, and that's something that he has to sort out, I feel, if he's going to do that. Because he's got everything else in the game: temperament, belief, good under pressure. But that cue ball is his Achilles heel.
All of those wise words are very true indeed. The one thing I will say about Wilson, I think he's a realist. I think he understands that's the part of his game he does need to work on the most.
Kyren Wilson, 22.
If you keep putting yourself under pressure, it doesn't matter how good your temperament is. Eventually, the law of averages will scupper you.
1. Seven.
In contrast,
8.
Robertson, very cultured, as Stephen said, in amongst the balls, but that's not always been the case. In the early stages of his career, his command and control of the white was nowhere near what it is now,
50.
which is simply world class.
60. $23. $24.
It's well
30.
documented, Stephen, that you gave him some advice about break building, and whatever it was, it sunk in.
32.
Yeah, he really is a savage scorer now. Only player ever to make 100 century breaks in a single season. 103 was the exact number, was it, Phil? In one season? Incredible, really.
And 22 in one tournament, the Championship League. That's a record as well.
40.
So that red
46.
was the frame winner, but as I always say, make sure you pot the next red.
47.
Well, I said that Kyren would need to score, I think, to win this match. He had a great chance. He was perfect.
54.
But spurned it. And I think this will be a pattern whenever
55.
he does that. This guy at the table is just playing too good.
Sixth. 62. 65. 69. 74.
Yes, it's still early days, but this is ominous.
Eight. And the frame.
Not bothering with the black. Kyren Wilson missed the pink, and then Neil Robertson was in the pink. He leads 1-0. Second semi-final of the Coral World Grand Prix. And already Kyren Wilson has something to ponder. He made one mistake, and he's lost one frame.
Yeah, I think Kyren Wilson is playing against someone who's playing so well that he's got to almost play it like a decider. You know, when you play a deciding frame, you always think, just give me one chance and I'll try and make that count. He's got to think that way in every single frame. Really focus, concentrate. But unfortunately, you can't do that from sitting in your chair. What a pot. Unexpected miss. It wasn't easy, and he was watching the cue ball.
Neil Robertson, one.
As we see the difference in speed of the two players. 11 seconds a shot. Okay, we're only had one frame. That'll develop as the match goes on, but generally that'll be around, it'll be around 5 or 6 seconds, I would think, on average, quicker. And that's when Neil's at his best.
Yes, you would imagine that Wilson would stick around the 28-second mark, whereas Robertson will get a little slower than 17. Of course he will. That's O'Sullivan-esque. But if he maintains a pleasing clip, Stevens bang on again. That's when he's most dangerous.
Foul. The miss. Neil Robertson, 6.
The referee, Greg Caniglio from Manchester, just putting the pink back where it was originally. Now the cue ball's turn.
Sorry. Okay. Foul. Kyren Wilson, 4.
He turned round to the referee there, did Robertson, and said, I think I pushed it. I think it might have been a double hit. This is the last thing that Kyren Wilson will want to hear. Thankfully, he can't hear me. Whatever you do, don't hit the blue.
Neil's having a look there to see if he can somehow play a cannon. The two reds that are next to the black, the one that's slightly further, the one closest to the pink, as it were. If he gets a little half ball cannon on the red, hopefully flick the other red away from the black and leave himself the black to the right corner. Just didn't get the right contact
1.
on the cannon.
Neil Robertson, 1.
He's playing so well, Robertson, that even that kind of pot you fully expect him to get.
Okay, that wasn't such a difficult shot, but he's very
8.
reliable with the rest. I'd say the best players in the world. I'd say Sean Murphy's excellent. Ronnie O'Sullivan, actually, although he uses his left hand quite a lot, is very good with the rest, but Kyren's right up there. Oh, is a red going? Surely not. That's horrible.
No.
I'll tell you what, this week has been fluke central. We've seen some pearlers. Maybe not quite as lucky as the blue that Trump had against Kyren Wilson, but still it's very much up there, and a dagger in Robertson's heart, because he would have been left right in.
$60.
So angle required. Probably play for green. Well, that's okay. He's just flicked the green in a way past, but it's not affected the angle he's got in the green at all. If anything, it's made it even better. So what you want to do here is try and get into the main bunch. Hitting the pink might not bring the reds into play. It's a big target. No, there's karma for you.
20. Try and do that again. Foul and a miss. Kyren Wilson 20. And Robertson 4.
He's left a shot to nothing here. Neil Robertson to the left corner. 4 reds that are in a line on the right hand side. The third one down. You clearly see. Well, no real pressure on this. Cue ball will be somewhere behind blue and green. Should he miss? Judged the pace of that one all right, didn't he? Absolutely glued to the baulk cushion. Okay, still has a pot on. So difficult, these, from under the cushion. Oh, that's magnificent cueing. That's one of his strengths.
Yeah.
Just cues those so straight.
In terms of best single pot of the match, I would say that's it so far. Superb.
Kyren Wilson, 1.
Well, again, he's been very fortunate. He did not threaten the jaws with that green. It was a really poor shot after a fine shot. He deserved to leave something on, and he hasn't. So 2 slices of obvious fortune for Wilson in this frame already. And again, the red is on. Not the best from Robertson, that. Well short of where he wanted to be. He really is riding his luck in this frame, Wilson. Okay, he's left a red across the top cushion this time, but there's no positional future there. And when you miss a ball in the business end of the table, you can expect to leave something on. That's twice he's done it and got away with it. And twice the follow-up safety from Robertson has been weak.
Yeah, 2 or 3 poor safety shots from Neil Robertson. Thing is, he's playing so well. All the other departments of his game is so good that sometimes you just don't concentrate as much on the safety. It kind of gets in the way. He's not got away with this one.
Yeah. 1.
It's not straightforward to get nicely on the next red. You see all the reds are in a line. Nothing goes to the left corner. He could play for the one on the black cushion. If he gets pretty close to it, wouldn't be a problem, but he's playing into them. Hoping for the best, really. And it looks okay. He'll settle for that.
8.
And that red clears one to the right
9.
corner. So one good positional shot from the yellow. That's an opportunity for Neil to take the second frame.
Elan.
Oh dear. Dear,
12.
dear, dear. Neil Robertson, what have you done? That's very careless. He wasn't expecting a contact on that red. But got it down and potted the black as if it was hanging over the pocket.
And that really is the sign of unrelenting confidence
90.
when you make a positional mistake, having the ability to get down, wipe the mental slate clean.
Twent.
Yeah, the black was a beautiful shot. It didn't overhit it at all. Just stroked it in.
Seven. 28.
The two reds in the open, none of them play to the corner pocket, so that's why to leave it to the middle.
35.
Never as easy into the middle pockets.
36.
So Robertson 30 in front now. That means he needs red, colour red.
43. $44.
If the red underneath the black is tight on the cushion, it's virtually unmissable because he won't be doing anything fancy with the cue ball. It'll just be make sure the red.
51.
So Kyren Wilson will definitely come back to the table. And he was just having a look. You know, is that the green and blue are in a good position for snookers. So this frame is not over quite yet unless he pots this black. Oh, wonderful. Just so confident. Pockets for Neil Robertson are like buckets.
59. Neil Robertson, 59. On the frame.
It wasn't the highest break we've seen in this match so far, but Robertson's 59, in many respects, better than his 80 in the first. 2-0. Sitting there sedately and sitting pretty, metaphorically, is now a third of the way to what would be his 29th world ranking final. It would be his third in as many weeks. His confidence level is really off the chart, Stephen.
Yeah, it's just the air he has round the table. It's just he gives off this air of confidence, and no shot is difficult. It's not a problem, it's a challenge. Like that black he potted when he played a careless positional shot in the frame. There was no shaking of the head. There was, you know, he just got down and floated it in. So here's a shot, careless shot. Doesn't mean to cannon that red. So takes the cue ball over, and then the speed he played it at, there's no drama at all.
Kyren Wilson isn't the kind of personality who would panic. But I'll tell you what, he would be not human if he didn't worry about the situation, and certainly about the way that Robertson's playing.
No, he's had experience of falling behind in matches this week. He's not had an easy ride at all to get to this stage. So no, it's not new territory.
Neil Robertson.
But again, he had chances in that frame.
Thank you.
Well, that one raised the roof, Stephen.
Foul. The miss. Kyren Wilson, foot.
Of course, Wilson did well to thin clip the red, but he didn't intend to get it behind the brown. If you break it down in the cold light of day, Wilson is 2-0 behind, and he's had a good run of the ball.
red between blue and pink is potable for a shot to nothing. How aggressive does Neil Robertson want to be here? Does he want to play off the red to the right, the black, or off the main bunch? Open them up. He's playing off the single red. He's got it way too thick. He's going to be okay though.
Well, they've both crept up a little in terms of average shot time. 30 seconds from Wilson. That's bordering on methodical. In fact, I don't think it's bordering on, it's arrived at.
Yeah, he's definitely a slower player now than he was when he first started winning tournaments three or 4 years ago. Now one if the black goes in the left corner pocket. That's the first thing Neil came to have a look at. It does. You're just checking if the red beside the black goes as well, but I don't think that does. Maybe it does. Certainly goes in half the pocket. The player's view is different from the view from behind the pocket, but I think it'll probably be going into the bunch anyway if he gets a good angle on the black here.
One.
Yeah, perfect angle. Maybe a red just at the back of the bunch goes to the right corner. Just don't look at it now. Yeah, that's the one he's played for, and now we'll definitely be bringing more reds into play in potting this.
8.
It's not always guaranteed. Trusting a little bit to luck with a cue ball. He's on the black, but not inch perfect.
Tall individual is Neil Robertson, but can't reach this without the aid of the cue extension. Again, what a delightful shot that was.
60. $70. $24.
He's having another look at this red. From that view there, it definitely goes into the right half of the pocket as we look. But as I say, it's sometimes from the player's view, it's tighter. But you would have to say it definitely pots. There's the evidence.
25.
So fourth black coming up. Those two reds near the left corner pocket. A bit of a nuisance at the moment. Not in terms of potting the black, but just you just don't like to have the reds in that position.
$32. $33.
I mean, he could play a little cannon on the two reds, and he knows he's always got the one to the middle should he miss the cannon. Well, obviously, he didn't have the angle. And he can play for the black again from this red to the right middle.
40.
Didn't get into that. Need to bring the cue ball back another 3 or 4 inches there. Then this with the left-hand side to go into the reds. Little cannon. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Just played this to perfection. Just had a touch of left-hand side, just to check the cue ball off the cushion. Take it up in a straight line.
One negative for the break here is that normally you can go up for the blue if you fall into any kind of trouble, but that's off its spot. So going up for that, a little more troublesome than normal. Quite content at the moment to concentrate on the highest value colour on the table.
There'll be no blues on his mind now. Yeah. After that split of the reds. He'll be staying down this end of the table.
56.
Seven reds, 7 blacks. Still in perfect position. As I said, those 2 reds by the left corner are the nuisance. You'll be thinking about it now. You'll be able to tell us, Phil, how many he's made in competition?
4. This is the scary part. About an hour before the match, they were just checking the lighting in this setting, which is beautiful, by the way. And they were flashing down the side of the tables, 147, 147. And I thought to myself, how many 147s have we seen this season? I went and checked it. That's also 4. Is that an omen?
65.
So this black, one more red to secure the frame, and then you can fully concentrate on the maxi. That's not a good shot. I think the maximum dream's over.
72.
Underscrewed the cue ball again by 3 or 4 inches. He's not playing for the black here. Shame.
$73.
Getting into the final is a priority. Bar and Snookers, that's 3-0. A lot to think about. The man on your screen there.
$77. Neil Robertson. 77.
No 147, no century in the end. It should be more than sufficient to secure frame 3. Mind you, our own Neil Foulds once made an 80 break against Willie Thorne in a competition and lost the particular frame.
That's one of the best stats I've heard all week, though.
Don't think Neil agrees. He allows me to mention it once a year, so that's my quota up until 2021.
8. No.
A very comfortable evening so far for Neil Robertson.
60. $70.
Well, before he became the Thunder from Down Under, he was known as the Melbourne Machine, and I think that nickname applies more the way he's playing.
$23. $23 on the frame. Neil Robertson.
Another very efficient frame from Neil Robertson, who now finds himself halfway to the Coral World Grand Prix final. At the Centaur in Cheltenham, it's been clinical and comprehensive so far from Neil Robertson. 3-0 up, and Kyren Wilson has got a big headache.
Yeah, and the worrying thing for Kyren Wilson that Neil Robertson's not really got out of first gear yet. He's not hit the heights that he has hit so far this week.
Hold the back page.
Good safety shot from Kyren Wilson. Aggressive safety shot, opening the reds up. I think Neil can still get to this red though. That's the thing, when you play those attacking safeties, you've got to get that cue ball tight to that baulk cushion. It's another poor one from Neil Robertson. In Neil Robertson's case, you just got to make sure you try and keep your focus, because he's had a very easy night so far, and sometimes you can just let your concentration drop.
As he did at the Masters when he was 5-1 up on Stephen Maguire and lost 6-5. Got badly burnt there. Wilson's last pot, half an hour ago.
Cued that nicely. Sometimes a tendency to overhit some shots, but that was perfectly struck. It's just on a look to see where the pink is going to be spotted when he pots it to the middle.
He needs points, he needs rhythm. He needs quality table time. Robertson well ahead in that regard. And a lot of the 39% of Wilson has been trying to keep his opponent quiet.
Thank you.
Wow, how's he got the pink in there?
7. Eight.
As he said in his interview before the match, that's why they call me the Warrior. I just keep on fighting.
$40. Yeah. $90. $20.
He has got a chance here. If he wanted to play green and brown with run inside of 2 cushions, go into the the area where the pink and black is at pace. Try and bring something into play. There is still them reds, the runs on the pink spot. 2 or 3 reds will go to that right corner, so playing the cue ball into an area. That was well played.
25. Six.
Although modest, this is Wilson's highest break of the match. Not good. Well, for a top 8 player, the previous positional shot did not pass muster. And Wilson has paid the price. He'll settle for that. Another red becomes more readily available.
If you can get a nice angle in the blue, it's a big target to go into the 4 reds to the left of the pink and black.
4.
I mean, ideally, you would want to just brush the red that's touching the pink, because then that would send the cue ball into those 4 and bring everything into the open. Another way of playing it, you can the red that's 2 up from the pink that's on it in the loose. If he finishes high on that, he can pull it in the right corner, screw off the reds. But he's played the first shot. Now, how's his luck? I'm looking at the body language. That's not good. The slow walk of the snooker player who's not on a red when he splits the bunch.
Yes, and even more hurtful, given the fact that the pink has gone over the pocket, and had he been on a red, we could have safely said it was a frame-winning chance. Fine margins.
Robertson.
No. He's done that a few times tonight, playing the cue ball up to the baulk end and been way short of the baulk cushion.
A red has been left. This very much within Wilson's wheelhouse. I'd be surprised if he missed it.
Powerful long pot. Wow. He's got to win this frame from this opportunity. If he doesn't, well, frankly, he's not going to win this match. Already 29 points in front. So all the reds in the open. Doesn't need the blacks, got the blue and pink. Should be plain sailing. But there's pressure on the visit because he's 3-0 behind. Badly needs his frame before the mid-session interval.
He's the kind of player, the kind of personality, Wilson, if he can go into the interval with something to hang on to, the frame he should win here, you never know.
40.
It's a dangerous occupation, writing Wilson off against anyone.
Twent. T1.
Consults the
26.
scoreboard, we can tell him he's 48 in front. So this red, routine, and any colour.
27.
We always say you never truly settle in a match until you got your first frame on the board. This will make
33.
Kyren Wilson feel a lot better. First to 6, 3-1 is not out of it by any stretch. 4-0. Well, that would have been
39.
dodgy, to say the least.
Sometimes turning points in matches are glaringly obvious. Other times they're a little more subtle. Maybe it would be Robertson going into the bunch of reds there pretty well and not dropping on anything that we might be looking back on at the end of the night as a turning point. You never know. tell you one thing you can't argue
6.
with. Wilson's rest play is sensational.
$51. $53. $56. Sixth. $65. $71.
Renewed hope for the Englishman. Just what the doctor ordered for Kyren Wilson. Nevertheless, it's an Australian who's in front. The man from down under, up top by 3 frames to 1.
And your semi-finalists, Kyren Wilson and Neil Robertson.
Yes, Kyren Wilson won that 4th frame before the interval, but he's still in the mire a bit here. 3-1 to Neil Robertson, so he's halfway towards a place in his 3rd successive ranking final
Thank you, frame 5.
in as many
Neil
weeks.
Robertson's break.
And although to continue the comeback, you feel Wilson is going to have to go up a notch in all departments, he may need Robertson to come down as well in standard, and there's been no sign of that for the last few weeks. Robertson, remember, with breaks of 80, 59 and 77 in the first 3 frames. That 71 from Wilson has kept him in touch, though.
Not done yet, this red. And having left it, was the black tied up for a left-hander. This is awkward bridging.
One. It rolls. 1.
Well, we know that Wilson does not lack for determination. We've seen that first 3 rounds with successive deciders against Jack Lazowski, Judd Trump, John Higgins. But in this match, he's chasing the game against someone in the form of his life, so he's got to cut out all mistakes. Safety will be important. If he gets in, he's got to score. And he may have to depend on a few Neil Robertson errors as well. It's not impossible to come back, but Neil Robertson just looks so confident there before the interval. No sign of any fatigue either. This is the 3rd country in as many weeks where he's been into the last weekend.
not the sort of player you want to leave this type of shot. Kyren catching the green there.
Well, yeah, it's what I was saying. At this stage, the way the match has gone, and considering the form Robertson's in, just a small mistake like that could make a big difference. Leaving a chance at the red, which Robertson's knocked in. Of course, he did appear, Neil Robertson, in the last two Coral Series finals of last season. Players' Championship and Tour Championship, lost both times to Ronnie O'Sullivan. He won here on ITV the Champion of Champions, though, in November. Three.
Four.
Actually, the reason Neil off the opening red and up for bulk colours is the red by the black spot, which he's keen to deal with this time. Didn't deliver through that properly.
No.
He may be a little fortunate he can get the long stuff out and perhaps play a little cannon in that offending red.
Ten.
Coming into this match, Robertson had won his last 8 ranking event semi-finals, so it's an impressive record because you're always going to be playing someone else in form in the last 4. Just didn't quite work out in terms of position. He took a bit of a chance here. On another day, he lands on the black.
Eight.
Well, he's done the important thing, which is cover that red close to the right corner. Wilson knows if he leaves one more chance here, it's probably going to be 4-1. What a shot. He was in trouble. Spent a long time thinking about that. In the end, got down and knocked this in.
That's the best of Kyren. Such a good and dangerous potter of difficult shots.
Be careful here, because of course Graham Dott last night was called for a foul on the cuff of his shirt. The referee, Greg Caniglo, positioning himself. Kyren tucking his waistcoat in, that might help. Breathe in as well, maybe. Well, it's nicely done. He's got himself in. But at this stage, he'll feel, right, I've got to now win the frame here. One way to stop Neil Robertson scoring is just keep him in his seat. He hadn't got through to the semi-final, he would have been in Portugal because it's a friend's birthday. His wife's actually gone. Kyren would have gone had he not been here. I'm sure they're following things out there, though. Weather's not quite as nice at the moment in Cheltenham as it is out in the Algarve.
Sixth.
Just the softest of little cannons on the two reds then. Yeah, it's the front, two in front, but three reds on cushions. Far from a frame winning opportunity just yet. Just doing the calculations. Kyren won't be thinking of this just yet, but he's going to need two of those reds to win the frame at this visit.
Third. 37. Eight.
Yeah, credit to him releasing that red. He's been a little unfortunate. Hoping to catch it a wee bit thinner now. These tight pockets along the black cushion. The one thing you don't want to do is get over ambitious with the pace of the shot and try and force the cue ball out of there. See, almost no angle at all. In the practice room this morning, actually seen Kyren practice this very shot in and out of bulk. Let's see if it pays.
Well, he's got to get second prize. Black very close to going in. Stayed out, but he has covered everything. Or more particularly the red that could have been possible to that same corner. So he leads by 27.
Just looking ahead here, it's a very big shot, they all are, we know that, but if he was to miss this and get the cue ball anywhere near the black cushion, Neil would be in business. I say that because he can now release the tight red if he wishes. Plays a good safety shot, the tables will be well and truly turned.
Yes, a very important passage of play coming up, which will decide, does Wilson reduce the deficit to just one? Does Robertson march on 4-1, just 2 frames from victory? All the balls are now in play, nothing on cushions. Well, Wilson pushing a red safe because he only needs 2 of the 3.
Yeah, he's looking at cue ball in behind black here. He'll get close to this. It looks a natural. Just a bit thin. black being on the cushion. It makes some difference, doesn't it? Pot and a red, the black end of the table's the safety zone, but certainly wouldn't be potting it. So deciding to release the red. Or is it? No. Taking this one on. Played it positively. I feel he possibly a bad contact. Only Neil will know. Yeah, it just skidded. Second prize though.
This is now the longest frame of the match, although it's only 22 minutes. So not a marathon, but very important frame. Robertson now looking to free this red.
One of those unusual frames that crop up from time to time, isn't it? Say down this end there's nothing black being tied up. It's difficult to play an aggressive safety shot. And providing Kyren, who's obviously in the box seat with a 23-point lead, providing he goes on and wins this frame, it might not be the worst thing in the world having a frame like this to try and take some of the sting out of the Robertson attack. Of course, you don't set out to deliberately do it. You've got to play just the way it lies, and see everything in his favour right now.
pot, but clearly now work to do.
Yeah, you don't get to hit a shot better than that. Yeah, the safety shot off the red and the right cushion is not really any use to him because he can't release the pink in playing it. So I think this is quite clever playing this red, because obviously Kyren needs the other one also.
That's 4.
It's one of those scoreboard shots that you play. Now Kyren can obviously release it. Doesn't want that near the pink.
Oh dear. Well, he's saying it drifted, but that is bad news for Kyren Wilson.
One thing he's worried about here is, again, it's the scoreboard, 15 behind. Pink and black as they are. He can't really get to... I can't get two high value colours to not need the pink on the clearance. It's one of those situations you've just got to accept it as is. Generous round of applause, and no wonder. Exactly as played. Dropped the cue ball in a button there. He's just checking that scoreboard again, but as we know, he's going to need the pink. Will he release it this time off the green? I think it's got to be. It's worth the risk. Catch the pink half ball, top side of it. Perhaps his plan is to play it next time round. Yes, it is.
No.
This next green. The theory in that there is, if he releases the pink and the white sticks close to the side cushion, the brown's an easier pot than the yellow would be. So he's thinking of everything.
Yeah.
Here's the big shot then coming up.
Fourth.
Well, the double kiss means it's not really come away too much from the side cushion. Still looking at that scoreboard. Going to need brown, blue and pink.
Eight.
One of those unusual situations, that, wasn't it, potting the brown? It doesn't really make any material difference to the frame. Both need blue and pink.
Oh, and he's brought the pink out as well. Wow. Double whammy.
5.
Don't think I've seen Neil Robertson miss a long pot by that margin for a long time, but he's been fortunate. He's actually had a result with the pink coming out, because if he'd only left the blue, the pink's still in the cushion, Kyren had pots the blue, he'd be a big favourite with pink and black on the table. Don't even think he can, well, he can play the pot, but this is so acute at this angle. He's just pushing it down onto the black cushion.
Yes, what it all means is this blue becomes now a big ball, the pink out in the middle. .34 minutes just about the frame. Kyren Wilson 4 out of 8 on long potting this evening. They could finish anywhere, couldn't they? But he's left it. He's left a chance for Robertson. And if he pots pink and black, sorry, blue and pink, It feels like a big, big blow. This has been a long frame, which Wilson seemed to be in control of at one stage. Robertson just checking he doesn't need the black. Pink for 4-1. Big moment. Wilson went for the blue. Couldn't know where they would finish if he missed it. He left it on. Robertson pots blue and pink, and Neil Robertson is just 2 frames away from the World Grand Prix final. Robertson, so it's 4-1 to him. He needs 2 more. He'll be playing Graham Dott in the World Grand Prix final tomorrow.
Kyren Wilson to break. Quiet, please.
Well, Kyren Wilson battled hard in that last frame. In the end, it came down to him taking on the long blue, missing it, leaving it on. And of course, having earlier brought the pink out, it meant Robertson potting the blue just had to land on the pink, and the frame was his.
If he's going to get back into the match, Kyren, then his problems are twofold. I mean, he's obviously got Neil Robertson to contend with and deal with. That's the first thing. The other thing, if he's going to get back into the match, is to win frames in bunches at this level. It feels like you've got to just up the pace a little bit, and you know, to win 2 or 3 frames quickly. That's the only way it looks like you're going to hurt Neil. Good pot. Wiped its feet, but it's home.
Crease off.
Not sure what Kyren's done to his hand, but he's just giving a little wipe. Hopefully he's okay. There's no doubt he is tough, and we've seen that already this week in the 3 deciders he's won. He won't have given this up yet, but something's going to have to start happening soon for him. That's obvious. And he's in here with a chance to get amongst them. I know he's been frustrated with some of the close matches he's lost this season, as he just deals with that fly. Yeah, it's been just over a year since his last final, the German Masters he won just before this event last year.
Interested in that plant, the left corner, but that'll keep then. So, high in the blue, high angle, you go into them. Too straight, you play for the plant.
12.
Winding up here, so he's trying to force this. Brilliant shot. That's awesome. Great shot. Now can he start finding that rhythm?
70.
It's like he's unlocked the door there, isn't it? So everything is there for him.
80.
Yeah, I think up until now in the match, it seems a little like every shot's a bit of an event. Just needs to try and pick up his pace just a bit. All of a sudden, it looks more purposeful.
26. $33. 34. 41. 42.
'Noticeable all of a sudden that he's not doing all that much studying in between shots. It's just get behind the next one and play it.
$49. 50.
Neil Robertson missed that initial long red. These could have been his, but Wilson got in immediately. He's got the reds open, knows he's got to nail this now. And show Robertson that he will take his chances if he gets them. Remember at the Masters, it seems a long time ago now, but that was only last month. Neil Robertson was 5-1 up to Stephen Maguire in the last 16, lost 6-5, so he knows these matches can turn round.
$58. 65. 66.
A little kick has just stopped the white, taken the pace out of it, and now put him under pressure on this black. Frame's not over yet. If he pots it, then Robertson needs 2 snookers. If he doesn't pot it, Robertson can win the frame by a single point. Yeah, well done.
$73.
He had his little sort of internal scream up about the kick, then he just focused himself on the pot and he knocked it in. It's always been terrific pressure shots. Not potted that one, so it is 2 snookers needed.
And Wilson, 73. One. Eight. 9. 60. $70.
Not an awful lot you can do with that last
24.
shred, is there? On the side, doesn't appear to be anyway. Maybe get close to it. Play a
25.
cheeky little snooker that way, keeping red and cue ball actually close together. That's what he's looking at. Get the cue ball really close in there. Almost play a little shot, a bit like a nursery cannon in billiards, something like that. See if we can get tight to it then. Yeah, it's not bad.
$32.
Should be an easy hit. Just try and ask Kyren some sort of question.
Neil Robertson.
Yeah, Wilson
32.
will remember yesterday well against John Higgins, and that decided he was putting him under all sorts playing snookers. Needed 3, got a couple.
And he's just checking the scoreboard there because obviously a foul in the pink and he can peel Neil Robertson, 35 behind, so important he doesn't foul by way of hitting the pink. Of course, if he errs on the side of caution the other way, he leaves a free ball more than likely if he goes across.
Time stood still there for a moment, didn't it, for everybody? But a great shot. Neil Robertson won a frame at the UK Championship against Yan Bingtao, having needed 4 snookers. Got a free ball there, so he's not going to give this up yet. Far from it. Not so easy, though, when you're in one yourself. Oh, and he hasn't hit it. And a little nod of the head tells you he's conceded the frame.
And the
So a good 73. It was a good last pot with the black, actually, to make the frame secure. And Kyren Wilson cuts the deficit to 2 once again. Neil Robertson leading here 4-2. Frame 6.
frame 7.
Yeah, he won it well, actually.
Robertson.
Got in after Robertson missed that long red. Wilson got in, made 73. Robertson didn't get the snookers. In fact, in the end, he was snookered and failed to escape. I'm sure Graham Dott is watching this, wondering who's going to play in the final tomorrow. Of course, it was Neil Robertson who beat him in the World Final 10 years ago. But as we've seen this week, Graham Dott doesn't fear playing anybody. Well, great pot, nice little touch on the blue. And he's in again.
6. Seven.
The other thing is, which happens quite often, someone's backs to the wall, 4-1 behind in a best of 11. It does free up your mind in some ways. That was a little clumsy. Still on the red, I think.
14.
So from being in good position again, has to salvage this. Little deep screw cannon off the red. Nice and soft, beautiful, well played. Good shot.
50.
Greg Niggler just sorting this pink out. Has to go in a line with the spots close to the reds as it can. Mustn't touch one.
Thank you. 21. $22.
I guess the next big shot in this frame is when he plays to get the reds open. It worked a treat in the last frame, didn't it? Superb shot.
$27. $28.
These have to be struck sweetly if he's playing for the red in the same pocket. Played out into the open.
35.
Second time then in this little break. He's half lost position. Regained it the first time. It's one of the great things about snooker, I think, in the modern era. You know, talking about players' different styles, attributes, gifts that they've got, and each game. And some are great potters, not so good, and tactically and positional play, all sorts of things. One thing Kyren is brilliant at is recovery potting. Is been a huge strength of his.
Yes, and he's also superb with that rest. He really is. Just doesn't miss with it. It's now 6 out of 6 using the rest in this match.
This type of shot is where the power comes in handy. Top spin, arc into them. They're a good shape actually for this shot. Cue ball should release. He didn't actually get into them with the pace I thought. Perhaps just arc too much. Look at see the spin in the cue ball there, almost
40.
lost its pace because of that. Actually, I Stephen Henry was one of the best ever at that type of shot. He seemed to get the cue ball down and back up in a straight line better than anyone. See that? What that does is keep the pace in the cue ball. Just starting to rest a bit of dominance. Neil Robertson now. Big shot this to keep that momentum. Well done. Very well done.
44.
Not out the woods just yet, but as I said before, his recovery potting is up there with anyone.
And that was as clean as a whistle as well, right in the middle of the pocket.
51.
Break goes to 51. And enough reds out in the open now to win this frame.
$52.
And he has quickened up as well. His average shot time was around 28 seconds. It's now 26 as he starts to make these
57.
breaks. So Wilson with the bit between his teeth here.
$58.
Well, it's a little tight. Surely he's on this. He's not sure. Well. He's had another look, but his reaction there suggests he can't pot it. He's can have a go, I think. This has been a rather adventurous break, and it continues to be, despite potting that.
65.
What about this one, Kyren?
So, I think for the fourth time in this break, recovery pot required again. No one can keep potting them, but should get this. Well done. Good shot. But it just adds to the stress levels, doesn't it? You know, when you're scoring, you want things to go as swimmingly as possible. But recovery potting, another great attribute of his is the temperament.
Yeah, it's what the guys have said
73.
about Kyren. Sometimes cue ball can be a bit loose, but bottom line is they've gone in.
74.
And he's only going to be one behind, and he's winning these frames now with breaks. He's keeping Robertson cold in that seat. Robertson, although they've only played once before, he knows all about Kyren Wilson and his powers of determination. So this match now, on a bit of a knife edge. Robertson's still in front, but only by one.
81. $82. 89. Knight. Five.
This is good stuff.
96.
It's his highest break, actually, of the whole tournament. And this black.
Never in doubt.
Yeah, never in doubt, he says. This black for a century. It's been adventurous. It's been like walking on a high wire, this break. But he's not fallen off yet. Nicely done, Kyren. And he's right back in it. Not just because he's made it closer, but because of how he's winning the frames.
104.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, great.
And now Neil Robertson's chiming in saying, well, if he'd have taken all black, say, he could have tied the high break, which of course is held by him. It's worth 10 grand, so that would have been 5 he could have nicked off the Aussie. Neil just reminding him of that. Very nice of him.
$111.
Yeah, it was 138 the high break, Judd Trump, but Robertson made a 140.
I think if I was Neil, I would have kept Stum. He's liable to make 141 the next frame, isn't he? Kind of thing that happens. Great stuff, yes, brilliant, Kyren.
180.
Work hard for it, and this next frame is going to be huge, isn't it? This is a great thing about these best of 11 matches.
123.
He's had to work so hard all week. 3 deciders just to get here to the semis. He's not going to stop working now. This has been a hearted mouth sort of break. 129 then from Kyren Wilson. He's right back in it. Neil Robertson, when he won that 5th frame, looked like he might coast to the line. Not a bit of it. Wilson is coming back, and there's only one in it. Robertson now leading. Kept a little bit cold since winning what looked like that big 5th frame. Pot in blue and pink. He's just sort of keeping himself loose as he waits for Kyren Wilson to return. The final tomorrow, best of 19. 100,000 to the winner. Graham Dodd, of course, waiting to see who comes through. And no one going anywhere here. It's a fascinating match now. Robertson just doing his little stretching exercises. Well, one thing he is, he's match sharp. He's played so much snooker. This is his 14th match in 3 weeks. And he's won 12 of his previous 13. It was just the German Masters final to Trump that he lost. Of course, he won in Austria the week before, looking for a 3rd successive final. But it looks now like it could be a longer evening than seemed likely at 3-0. So this next frame, very interesting. If Robertson can win it, then Wilson under pressure again. But if Wilson can win it, then suddenly what looked like a comfortable win for that man might not transpire at all. Wilson getting a good hand as he returns to the arena for frame
8. Frame 8. Kyren Wilson to break.
Yeah, Neil Robertson waiting and Kyren coming back there. You got the sense he's itching to get back to the table. I think for the first time in an awful lot of snooker in the last few weeks. Perhaps the Judd Trump match aside, the final in Europe, he's not been dominated for the way he has this last few frames against Kyren, so he won't be feeling all that good just about now. Been winning matches comfortably. Yes, the first match here against Holte, he 1-4-3. But he's devoid of rhythm himself right now.
I think one thing we can say, if Wilson does win this tournament, then 10-9 is nailed on in the final, because he doesn't seem to do things the easy way. They're all close, aren't they, his matches? But he's come back well, you know, losing that fifth frame. He was in control of it for a long time. He lost it on pink, but his head never dropped.
The last thing he wanted, to present Neil Robertson with a gift. After all the hard work, getting back into the match after, as David rightly said, losing that frame 5 the way he did, as he just undone some of that hard graft. Yeah, it's a long way to go, the frame just started, but when you present Neil with these chances, form he's in the last few weeks, he's been gobbling these up. But to say again, he's devoid of any momentum in this match for the time being.
Yeah.
Just played something on the white ball. So, nearly 20 minutes in this match since Neil Robertson ponded the ball.
One. Six. Seven.
Seeing about these best of 11, slightly longer matches, obviously. There's always subplots going on, and isn't it funny with the way Kyren's played the last couple of frames? All of a sudden, Neil Robertson looks a wee bit hesitant. Yes, this is not straightforward, but he knows the importance of re-establishing some sort of authority in the match.
12. $30. $80.
Just while Robertson studies this, I understand some of you may have experienced some breakup in sound. If so, we apologise for that. It's been looked into.
Robertson. 80.
All of a sudden, the small things are not going Neil's way. The drop in blue in the middle, got the wrong kiss.
Yeah, even the frame he won after the interval, frame 5, it wasn't a sort of flowing frame. It was all bits and pieces, stop, start. So the earlier nice rhythm he was in before the interval seems to have gone walkabout. Robertson's highest break since they came back after the interval is just 32.
$7. $8.
Last thing he wanted was straight, obviously. So, change of plan. Looks like blue's going to have to be the shot. Into the pack, maybe. Every credit to him for playing that
30.
shot aggressively. A bit unfortunate still as one to use that right middle as we see it again. Just didn't quite get the meat of the bunch there, did he? Get them shifting around. Brilliant shot, unfortunate, but here's one of these recovery pots he's normally so good at.
Wilson just starting to edge ahead in some of these stats now. Ahead on the pot success. Again, that could have finished a lot better going into them.
90.
Well within his rights to feel let down by the snooker gods there. He played it perfectly. A bunch of reds. They're going to show you again as he catches that middle red of the three together.
Well, as he has been doing,
90.
he went full-blooded at the pot, but it's not in. And this is a big moment now, I think, in this match, as we see the miss again. Because Neil Robertson will feel, right, I've really got to punish now. Wilson has been playing really well last couple of frames. And Robertson just wants to keep him away from the table. He was a little unlucky there, Wilson, though, not to land on a red. He's gone into the cluster nicely. But he needs to keep himself patient in that seat in case something goes wrong here for Robertson.
This is the big shot. No, I mean normal circumstances. This is bread and butter, this red.
6.
A bit of pressure on it because of the lack of table time. Wow, well played.
7.
Again, just a fraction short. Don't know if he can reach this. He's tall, but you need the little mini butt. One of those. I don't think he'd feel all that comfortable, Neil, until he's in what we call perfect position. Small things becoming awkward at the time being, but should get nice on a red off this. Now he can start trying to build some of that confidence in the
40.
Q arm.
$50. $22. $23.
I think this is the frustrating thing, though, for a snooker player. When something goes wrong, you can't put it right immediately. Kyren Wilson missed. He's just got to sit it out here. It's not like golf where you just hit the next shot.
$31. $38.
Robertson needs 2 more reds to win what would be a big frame for him
29.
Kyren Wilson was coming back strongly, but for a better split of the Reds, could well have levelled this match at 4-4. But Neil Robertson
47.
pots framed all red, and he's looking good for 5-3. Big moments here. He's done what he had to do, step in and make this winning break.
$54. $55.
Well, a terrific match this, as last night's semi-final was. Kyren Wilson has got here by winning 3 successive deciders. If he's going to reach the final, it's going to have to be 4 in a row.
61.
And he's going to have to win the last 3 frames to achieve that.
Okay. 62.
Not that many people have got close to Robertson of late. Wilson has, but Robertson's responded.
$69. Neil Robertson, 69.
So Wilson missed that thin cutback red. Left a chance. Neil Robertson has made a break of 69 from it. And he's 1 away now from the World Grand Prix final and a meeting with Graham Dott. He leads Kyren Wilson in Cheltenham 5-3. Wilson's going to need all 3 frames if he is to turn this around and win what would be, of course, a 4th deciding frame finish in a row. Neil Robertson's just left the arena briefly. Just to remind you, the final tomorrow. 2 sessions, 1 o'clock and 7. And his first to 10 to become World Grand Prix champion. £100,000 awaits either Graham Dott, Neil Robertson or Kyren Wilson. Well, at one stage, it looked like it would be an early night for the audience here at 3-0, but Wilson has done his best to make it closer. That last frame, though, is a bit of a blow for him because he was just starting to take control. As I say, he was starting to edge the stats. Problem he had there, Alan, though, is, you know, OK, he was putting Robertson under pressure, but Robertson's just playing so well at the moment.
Yeah, he's solving problems from positions of being under a wee bit of pressure. He's able to just put that to one side and get back on the horse and do what he's been doing since the new year. All right, yeah, he lost in the first round at the Masters. It was almost a G'd him up for what was to come through January and February. He's been excellent as Neil returns then.
Frame 9 of a possible 11. Robertson needs 1, Wilson needs them all. Yes, when he lost in the first round of the Masters, actually, afterwards, he wasn't that disappointed. He actually said, you know, a few years ago, losing first round of the Masters would have been a big blow. These days, there's so many tournaments to play in. There's another one round the corner. Of course, each of the next 2 has been in the final of, winning 1, and he could be in the final of another here. So that prophecy has sort of borne fruit.
He's left a chance here. It's a decent opening. He needs to win the match. Both of Had a brilliant long red in the deciding frame earlier this week against Michael Holt, didn't he, to kick that off. But we're talking about Kyren, how gritty he is and how determined he is. What you do as a player, you earn your reputation over obviously a number of seasons, a number of years, and what that does, it stays with you. Each player knows about everyone's reputation as a fighter and all that sort of stuff. It helps you when you get to this stage of matches. You know, your opponent knows that you're not going to go away and go down without a fight.
Yes, and of course it applies to the man waiting in the final tomorrow, Graham, not as much as anybody.
Don't know if he can hold for the black here. I don't think so. He's going to have to just round the back of that other red, the red on the right-hand side there. Just missed that, round the back of it. Oh, straight up and straight down, even better. That's a brilliant shot. I said earlier in this match, you know, when you go a long way behind it, 4-1 behind it, he looked to be freed up in some way, Kyren. He probably will be again here, 5-3. Can't afford too many more mistakes. No hesitation. Low angle into the black. The only thing there is just a hair short of pace. Wants to catch the red just on the right-hand side of it, which means that he can't go in full power. Just catch the right half of it. Ah, good shot. Very nice.
$21. $22. $29.
He's going top spin, so trying to plough through these reds.
$30.
Almost steeplechased over them. What a nice result, though. Take that all day.
$35. $36. $40.
That's a bit loose. That is loose.
42.
He's probably played to be straight in the black there. He's a good 8 or 10 inches short of where he intended to be, so looks like he's forced to play some sort of cannon, which is a risk that it's an unnecessary risk. This could go wrong.
Well, it's another great pressure shot. The thing about those sort of balls, we've seen it all through the match, is that Wilson doesn't play them fearing he might miss. He plays them believing he's going to get them. He doesn't get them all because they're tough, but he got that one. And what a chance now to win this 9th frame.
Yeah, and he plays them without thinking about the disappointment of the previous shot too. Well set then. Close to one behind again. And isn't it noticeable?
57.
Playing with better pace. Much better cadence that he has when he gets on with it.
And also Neil Robertson let the cat out of the bag about the high break, 140, which actually he can now equal. Maybe he should have kept quiet. Couldn't wait to tell him a couple of frames ago, could he? That he'd missed out on the chance to equal it.
65. $66.
He's feeling generous, I think. Main thing is just win the frame. The pink puts him 72 in front with 67 on. So Robertson will need 2 snookers if this goes in. The Warrior still fighting here in Cheltenham.
$72. That's Neil. 140.
Well, he's now asking, but he was told, wasn't he, earlier? Anyway, he can't make it now. 139 is all it's on. I notice Robertson now not really smiling about it all. He's just sort of looking a bit sheepish because this match has got a lot closer.
73.
Yeah, the time for friendship and hilarity is well past now.
$8. $81. Green ball.
Nominated green as he tries to make a second century of the evening.
$84.
Cue ball sometimes sees parts of the table maybe it wouldn't see with some players, but he just keeps on potting. Not potted that one, so the break ends at 84. It's a fine
84.
contribution though. So with a possible 2 frames to play, Robertson still needs 1. Wilson needs them both. Can he force a decider, or can Neil Robertson get this match won? So it's 5-4 to Neil Robertson. He needs 1, Wilson needs 2. Wilson has just made an 84. He made a 129 in frame 7, 73 in frame 6. So he's scoring well when he gets in. Just missed that tricky red in frame 8. From that, Robertson made a 69 break.
Oh, good shot. Needs a friendly kiss on the brown. That'll do it. That should do it. So dangerous. Is Neil. Anything you leave at distance. Now, can he find a good positional shot? Well, it's going to take a good pot as well. Yeah, Brown's the easier shot positionally because he can play for a choice of 2 reds.
Robertson, 1.
That's interesting. I didn't think for a second he was going to miss that. Wasn't a sitter. Never easy when the cue ball's that close to the object ball. Pick the potting angle. What's Kyren got for us then? Unexpected chance. Neil Robertson just sat in his chair there, had a little deep breath as that red disappeared.
Eight.
Just never seems to be straightforward, does it, for Wilson? Can he keep knocking these pressure pots in? As the pressure intensifies as we head towards the climax of this semi-final. He can. His head hasn't dropped all night. At 3-0, it was a right battering. Neil Robertson was knocking in breaks. He looked the only player, but Wilson stood tall, won the 4th frame. He keeps on losing position, but potting his way out of it.
Wouldn't be the first time either with Kyren Wilson. Made a comeback in a big match. Did it earlier this week against Jack Lazowski. 2-0 in front. Sorry, 2-0 behind. He won 4-3. Remember a few others as well. Huge matches. Champion of Champions final that last season. 2018.
50.
Can't remember exactly, but something like 6-3 behind to Sullivan. Should have won, lost 10-9. Last spring at the Crucible. I think it was 6-1 in front of Barry Hawkins.
60.
Wasn't even remotely in the match at that stage. Ended up winning that 13-11.
Yeah, it's that mentality, isn't it? It's what Mark Selby style mentality. You haven't beaten me till the match is over. Even if you're a long way in front, as long as you're out there, I've still got a chance.
T2.
How much of the pack can he get into here and get them shifting the reds? It's not easy because the harder he actually hits this, the more difficult it is going to be to get the reds moving. Yes, he hung off it a wee bit. Oh, he's unlucky. Looks to the ceiling in disappointment.
29 to Chimbo. Touch it in. Did you move? Yeah.
Sort of 3 stages when Kyren Wilson, when something goes wrong. Firstly, he shows us how unhappy he is. Then he takes a little while to think about what he's going to do, just settling himself. And then usually he plays a good shot. There's the shot time, over a minute. I guess the complication is, I don't think it's touching actually, but well, it was touching, but the complication is the red in the middle of the table.
Kyren Wilson.
And it's not
29.
not the greatest shot, but the frustration was not landing on one.
Neil deciding to try and open these up and hopefully from his side of things make this a one-shot game. Well, I expected him to push a few more open than that, but the same thing applies. Kyren could have played a shot similar to that, but he didn't want it with a 28-point advantage.
Oh, has he got the cover here? Neil Robertson having a good look.
Maybe can't get it direct, but I think it's not that difficult for a player of Neil's standing to just turn the cue ball over with a wee bit of left-hand side. The black's waiting. He's not going to be able to get the cue ball away from the side cushion. But fancy him to get the pot.
Doesn't get any easier though.
Ah, such a good shot.
Yes, with everything that Wilson has thrown at him, that was a pressure shot. He didn't make it look like it, though. Cued it superbly.
50. $60. $23.
Yeah, it looks like he's got an interest in this plant. The left corner, but when he played for 2 reds, you see the plant there though, that looks very risky. I don't know why he wouldn't play the red in the centre. Play for a bulk colour, possibly top side of a blue. This looks a bit dicey for me. The other thing is he's definitely opened up all the reds. Oh, what a shot. Supreme confidence.
Yes, and while it's impressive to win matches comfortably, as he has been doing of late, it's also impressive to win a match when you've been put under pressure. And make no mistake, he has been, the way Wilson's come back at him. But he's given himself every chance now of closing this out.
$26.
Yeah, that's a key ball. Now he's got them exactly where he wants them. I'd be more than a little surprised if Neil Robertson doesn't administer the coup de grace right here.
Wilson just hoping that something goes wrong in the next couple of minutes. What Kyren Wilson's proved in this tournament and in this match is that he's a very hard player to beat.
33.
But Neil Robertson
34.
has the winning feeling right now, and he doesn't want to relinquish it. Remember, if he wins this frame, he's into his 3rd final in a row on successive weekends in 3 different countries.
$41. $42. $49. $50.
38 the lead with the pink. Sorry, 28 the lead with the pink. Better get it right.
$56. $57.
So this pink and the red, and he should be in the final.
Yeah, Kyren, if he goes on to lose the match, can be proud of himself
60.
tonight. He's fought hard. Some near misses in our ITV events. I mentioned earlier the champion of champions losing the decider, but this is match ball.
Very classy finish, this, from a player in the form of his life. And he'll be very satisfied to win a match where he's been pushed. It's great to win comfortably, but when you've been put under it, as he has been, to respond
56.
in this way, he'll be more than happy going through tomorrow. He plays Graham Dott.
68.
They've had some interesting matches. It's 10-6 on the head-to-head to Robertson, as he puts himself into yet another final. Terrific battle here this evening in Cheltenham. Neil Robertson made a great start. Kyren Wilson made a late rally. But in the end, it is Australia's Neil Robertson who books his place in the World Grand Prix final. Wilson by 6 frames to 4.